Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back. Are we not friends yet? Okay, no problem. We have time, right? So, what we have learned up until now. To sum it up, I have divided. Our goal is to learn about the concept of the denial of service attack and distributed denial of service attack. I have divided and structured the resource in into four parts. The first part, which was part 0 and consists of 2 episodes, there we learn about basic knowledge and understanding about the denial of service attack itself. The second part, which consisted of 5 episodes, there we went into a little bit detail about the distributed denial of service attack. Now the third part, which where it starts with this video, and it is the first episode. It will consist of 3 episodes. It is to prevent the length of the video, and this is the first episode. And this in this episode we are going to learn about mitigation mechanism or measure against the denial of service attack and distributed denial of service attack, because up until now we have learned about their consequences and how they works and how they are structured and initiated and so on and so forth. Now it's time the question, okay, that is from the attacker sides. You might ask, what can I do to prevent it? It is not 100% guarantee, as always. When it comes to cybersecurity field, you cannot have a defense policy that is 100% guarantee. If anybody says that I can create and implement 100% defense policy, they are lying, basically, in short, because there is no way. But the goal of the cybersecurity field is to have an effective mitigation or defense policy, and the goal is to inflict as much damage, as much pain, and cause increase in the cost of the attack for the attacker. That is the goal. Okay, um, we should not make their job easier. Basically, that is the cybersecurity professional says. Okay, as always, my English is not good, but I will try my best. If you have difficulty to understand the concept or some words, some explanation, then you can put your question in writing, either in commenting area, or contact me via the contact link that is in the description of this video. Then I will write the answer in writing, and hopefully it will help you that way. So this is the first episode. We are going to learn the mitigation measure against the denial of service attack and distributed denial of service attack. And in this episode we are going to focus solely on technical prevention measure, which technology and method can be used to help us to prevent to be used as a prevention measure to prevent, okay, and mitigate. Here we have firewall. We are going to in detail when it comes to the firewall of SNET, not here, and the kinds of firewall. Basically here you should understand that firewall can be used to filter traffic, deny or access based on specific criteria. It depends on what is the goal that you will achieve. You can deny traffic or accept the traffic. Okay, then we have intrusion detection system. Here you can detect the attack itself, analyze the traffic. Then you can use, based on that information, intrusion prevention system to basically deny the attack itself, to not continue and prevent from further damage. Okay, then the other technique is that you can be used here. We can write a little bit in writing, maybe to clarify a little bit further, to detect and block malicious activities. You can do that by using these three techniques: firewall, intrusion detection system, intrusion prevention system. Then we have rate limiting. What, and you may ask, what do you mean by this? That is a good question. Here basically we set the threshold, says the thresholds. I couldn't write the thresholds right here. Thresholds, I'm not sure if it's correct. The thresholds to limit the rate of incoming request to your server, for example, or to your system, or to your network, to your server. And also you can control and put limit on controlling the number of requests from individual IP addresses. Basically, each IP address cannot send an infinite amount of requests. You can limit that. Then we have load balancing. For example, you have deployed maybe 2 or 3 server to provide the same services, for example, to handle the request of your website. The large organization is doing that. Here you should have mechanism in place to distribute the amount of requests that is coming in equally over all 3 servers, so they are not being overwhelmed basically. So distribute traffic across multiple server to manage high traffic volume. Then we have redundancy, and you may ask, what do you mean by that? The attacker had redundancy, right, when they were designing the distributed denial of service attack structure. Why the defender should not have? Okay, redundancy. What we can use here? Redundancy and backup. Backup. Okay. This this is for to ensure to ensure yeah, I'm not sure if it's correct in writing here. Redundancy and backup to ensure critical systems. Every organization has a critical system. Critical systems system have backup and can switch to redundancy systems if needed if needed. So the next technical measure that can be used is increased bandwidth. And you may ask, what do you mean by that? Yeah, you are correct by asking. This is this provision additional. This will provision additional bandwidth. Bandwidth, you think like it is a highway. If you have more highway, then the amount of traffic that will passing through will be higher, and you can take and handle it compared to if you have little amount of highway, then the traffic congestion will be very high. The volume of traffic will be very high, and you have to wait a lot of time compared to if you have a large amount of highway, then the traffic goes without you need to wait in the lines. Okay, and this provision additional bandwidth. The goal here basically additional bandwidth to handle unexpected 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 surges in traffic, reducing thereby reducing impact of a large scale attacks. Okay, the next technical measure is so-called IP blacklisting and whitelisting. You may ask, what do you mean by that? That is a good question. Here basically you need to maintain lists of trusted IP addresses to allow for these IP addresses will goes into whitelisting, and based on the information that you have gathered from other sources, some IP addresses is suspicious, and also known to belong to certain botnets. Then you can put those IP addresses in so-called block list. Okay, known malicious known malicious IP addresses to block or so-called blocklisting. Then that is not enough, because we will come to what is spoofing and something like that, something like that. Because there is a mechanism to bypass the whitelisting IP addresses. The attacker can impersonate the trusted IP address. Okay, there is some mechanism, and therefore you should have mechanism and measure in place, and so-called anti-spoofing measures. Here the attacker will impersonate the trusted IP addresses. You think that is the coming from the traffic is from trusted device that you know that belong to your company, but there are mechanisms that the attacker can use that IP address to bypass your security manager. Therefore you must have anti-spoofing measures. We will come to spoofing in the coming videos, not right here. So anti-spoofing measure, it is to implement basically implement anti-spoofing. Spoofing means impersonating. Okay, impersonating anti-spoofing techniques to prevent attackers from disguising or impersonating their IP addresses. They cannot just use impersonate or disguise their IP addresses. We will come into that. There are other protocols that can be also used to impersonate. Okay, so, and the last technical measure is behavior analysis that we will going to mention here. Basically use behavioral analysis tools. There are many tools that will help you to do that, to identify and mitigate abnormal I forgot how to write abnormal. I will write it, but I'm not sure if it's correct. Abnormal traffic patterns. Indicative, which is indicative indicative I am not sure if it's correct. Indicative of potential attack. Okay, and you may ask, what do you mean? Because uh, if you are a large organization, right, you have either hired consulting company or you have your own security team. There they they are using tools to map out the daily activity, the traffic, the type of traffic, and the behavior of traffic that used to happen in daily activity. Okay, based on that, they will analyze and develop, mm, for example, a graph, or depending on that, I don't know what, but they understand, and they understand the normal behavior, the daily to daily behavior of your network system, and how it behaves, and which types of traffic goes in and come out, and how the devices that requesting to connect and are connected to the network system, and how they behave, and which amount of traffic they are sending and receiving when they're communicating with each other. But suddenly you discover, okay, this the network is behave not normal today. It is not the normal traffic that we are seeing. Based on that analysis, the device that will help you, then you can block that traffic, which will help you to block the potential attack. Okay, that was the technical measure. In the next episode, we do you think that is enough to only have the technical measure? No, unfortunately. The next episode, which will be more important one, we are going to talk about clear policies and directive. Okay, I hope you have learned something from here. If you have any questions up until now, you can put it in writing in the commenting area, or send it to me directly via contact link that is in the description of this video. Otherwise, have a nice day. Bye.